Well, hello world. Welcome to Real Talk with ReZsaun when nothing's off limits. I am your host, ReZsaun Lewis. Here on Real Talk, on any given week, everything is debatable. So on any given week, we could be discussing anything from sports to music to entertainment to politics. So you name it, we discuss it. So as we go along, I want you definitely to make sure if you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to see me talk about at any given time, make sure you leave it in the comment section so I can look those subjects up and make sure I know what's going on. I try not to talk about things I don't know about. I think too often we feel like we have to have an opinion on things without actually doing the research first. So I try to make sure that before I even mention anything or bring anything up, that I do have that research done. So if you have anything that you're interested in any section of life for me to talk about, please put it in here, and I'd love to talk to you about it. I'd love to bring it to the show and discuss it and maybe improve what we're doing. If you have comments, good or bad, if you love something, if you don't like something, I want to know. I want to make sure that I am, making sure that the show is interesting and engaging for the people who are watching. So I'm gonna get started with a few current event topics. I want to start out once again, just like I did last week, with sending out prayers of recovery and relief to the people in Texas who are getting over Hurricane Harvey. It's really amazing to see the outpouring of support that's happened. Shout out to Khalid Gadsden and the whole Luciano's fam who are in partnership with another gentleman who anonymously, that's what's so dope, anonymously sent a truckload of supplies to Texas to help those people who are in need. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to everybody in the neighborhood and the communities across the world who are trying to do something positive to help the efforts that are going on in Houston and in the surrounding areas. It's not easy coming through hurricane. Here in South Carolina, we definitely know hurricane season well. So my heart goes out to them, and I'm hoping that they're finding themselves ways, to take care of their family, take care of themselves. Throughout the week, I'll be posting different places that are doing relief efforts. So if you want to find something to donate to, if you said, well, I wanted to give my money, but I haven't found a trustworthy organization to do that with, maybe I can point you in the direction of somebody who can help with that. But definitely my prayer, my heart goes out to the people in Houston and the surrounding areas going through that Hurricane Harvey situation. America definitely, Mike, and thank you for watching, Mike. America is not what the media portrays. I believe that there's a lot of emphasis put on the splits and the divides that are going on in our country currently. But we definitely have more people that are strong and are together than people would have you believe in our country. Are there problems? Definitely, and that's something I always say. There are problems. There's definitely things we can resolve, and there's definitely issues. But as often I find it to be the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of situation. You can have 90 people in a room who are saying nothing at all, getting along and having a great time. But if you have 10 people in that room who are arguing and bickering, they're going to say, oh, that room was loud and people that weren't getting along. When 90% of the people in that room were getting along, because the idea, human nature is to focus on what you see, what you hear. What you see and what you hear. And that, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Like it's literally that same condition that repetitively and continuously attacks us and allows us to think that we're so divided. Are we divided on certain things? Definitely. Are there certain issues that will come up that will show the divides in our country? Yes. But I do not believe that as a country. What's happening, Ryan? Thank you for watching too, man. If we focus on the things that will bring us together, the things that are common with us, then we definitely will do a better job as a country of coming together. And situations like Hurricane Harvey show it. When Hurricane Katrina happened, they showed it. 9/11 happened, they showed it. In times of catastrophe, that love that we actually have as a nation, that keeps us, that binds us, and things that put us together, that make us the great America that we are, the melting pot. It definitely is there. Now, I think that there are times where we could come together more for the common good that we don't. But I'm not going to focus on those things because that's not the purpose of what I'm talking about today. But definitely, I do believe that America is strong. I do believe that that we're much more together than people would believe, based on what the media portrays. Definitely what the media portrays. So yeah. I definitely again, last time, hearts out to Houston. If you can send some love, some prayers, some money that way, then please do so. If you haven't found a place, a organization to contribute with, then please do so as soon as you can. Like I said, I'll be posting some links throughout the week to help you find some. Yeah. So I know, like I told you, I try to talk about everything. Everything. I try not to leave anything off limits because it's too often that, people get sidetracked and, talk, like, I don't want to be serious all the time. So I try to talk about some funny stuff as well. But I also want to do one thing before I move on. There's a young man who's in the organization that I represent, the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club, and his name is Kevin. And Kevin, if you didn't see, I posted it on the DGC page. Kevin actually did a great thing today, and I'm going to read from it because some of you may not have had an opportunity to see it yet, so you can hear about Kevin. Kevin is a young man who's in our organization, the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club, and today he did a great deed for a young lady, and I want to read that to you guys. Let me pull it up really quick because it's amazing that and we need to make sure. Mike, I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, not on this page. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the Niners right now for several reasons, but I do want to tell you about Kevin. So let me tell you about Kevin. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, pulling it up. Of course, while you're on, it always slows down. That's not the. Yeah, so here's a post. All right, and I'll post it on the page. It says, we had a bit of a wild and scary afternoon at the King house. Emmy was playing at a friend's house on her way back home, took a bad fall in the middle of the road about 2 blocks from our house. This young man named Kevin picked Emmy up off the street and carried her all the way to our house. I would be lying if I didn't tell you that the blood and Emmy's limp body didn't terrify me. We took her to immediate care and had her checked over from head to toe. We are so lucky that the damage is bad scrapes and bruises. After lots of ice and snuggles with Mom and Dad, we decided to take Kevin a gift to show our appreciation. He didn't have to carry Emmy, but he didn't have to go get her bike. He didn't have to go get her bike, and he definitely didn't have to come back an hour later to check on her. Kevin, sir, you forever have a piece of my heart. # show the good. I want to send a special shout out to Kevin. All right, Kevin is a member of the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club Mentoring Program, and I'm really, really a big fan of this post and what it says about this young man. And I love the fact that it represents it's a part of an organization. It talks about the organization that I'm a part of, but more so I love the fact that it shows that this young man's character is so intact. And too often, again, we get caught up on the negative things that are happening with our youth, but we have young men in this world like Kevin, all right? And people like Kevin definitely need to get that light. If we can talk about the negative things that kids do, if we can bash them for not, wearing their clothes right or not talking to people right, or the music that they listen to, then we definitely can go out of our way to make sure that we highlight these young men and women as they do great things in their youth. I love seeing it. It's something that I see all the time, being a part of a mentoring program, and so I want to make sure that we do send. So I'm going to post that again as well to the page so you guys can check it out, because it's an amazing story and it's an amazing testament to what young people are doing. They're not just doing negative things. They're out here doing positive things, and they're impacting lives in a great way. So please, when you see this, I want you to comment on it. I want you to share it. I want you to like it. Let's make this thing go viral, because there are young men like Kevin all over, and I believe that because I see him all the time. I definitely see it all the time. So shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Kevin for what he did. Kevin's story, and it's called Kevin's Story. I'm going to put that on my page. I'm posting it right now. All right. So I'm gonna transition to sports. All right. So the Kyrie trade. All right. We've been talking about the Kyrie trade for a while. It was, if you don't know, Kyrie Irving's a basketball player that plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he got traded to Boston for Isaiah Thomas, the basketball player, Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder and a potential #1 overall pick because it came from the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are terrible. But the trade was delayed because because Isaiah Thomas got hurt during the playoffs. And so Cleveland actually went back and started asking for different assets. Now the trade is official, and Kyrie got what he wanted. He's going to be the man in Boston. Now that's a cool thing and all, wanting to be the man. Everybody wants to be the man. But the truth is, what Kyrie, I think, is going to walk into and find that he may not have considered is everything that comes with it. So I'm interested in seeing how he deals with the pressure of being the #1 guy. That means that he doesn't. When they win, he gets the glory. When he loses, he gets the blame. All right, that's the one thing that he never had to deal with in Cleveland, was he never got blamed for anything. When he lost before LeBron got there, it was, oh, well, they just have a terrible team around them. There's no players. When LeBron got there and they lost, then it was, oh, LeBron should have done more. Now it's going to be Kyrie. It's going to be all on Kyrie, and we'll see how well he deals with that. There's been lots of players that have been in this situation that have decided to make that leap and decided instead of sticking with the winning situation that they had, they tried to get more as far as individual success, and it didn't work out well. First that comes to mind is Stephon Marbury to me. ESPN just did a great expose on Stephon Marbury and where he went from. If you don't know, Stephon Marbury was a basketball player who played with the Minnesota Timberwolves with Kevin Garnett, and they had a really good thing going. I mean, they weren't winning championships, but they were a good unit. But he wanted to be the man, so they sent him to New York. He went to New York, and it went badly. It went really badly. It went so badly he ended up out of the league in a few years and playing in China, where he resurrected his career as a China. He's like a god in China. So I guess that worked out well. If that's what Kyrie wants. If Kyrie wants to be a god in China, then he's on the right track, if you ask me. But I definitely don't want to see that for him long term at all. But yeah, that's I don't have any issue with Kyrie requesting that trade. My question is more about the fact of what is he thinking about long term? What does he want long term? As you know, what does he want? Championships? Does he want to make money? Because chances are he's not going to get championships in Boston. It's not likely. But if what he wants is more money, then I mean he can get it. If what he wants is more individual attention, he'll get that as well. But I'm pretty sure he's not going. The other stuff that he's going to get with it is not going to be what he wants. So yeah. So if you have any comments again about that, feel free to put them down below. No, he didn't think long term at all. He did not think long term at all. If you're thinking legacy, then he didn't think long term at all. And I hate it for him, but that's the choices he made. So yeah. So that's that. So what I want to move on to now is I want to move on to my local celebrity spotlight for this week. Now this week's local celebrity spotlight is on a young man that I know really well. Is Alfonso A.C. Riley. Now if you don't know anything about AC is my little cousin. All right. Now AC is not just my little cousin. No, he's not on the show because he's my little cousin. He's on my show because he's a phenomenal artist, a phenomenal writer. He does lots of work throughout the community with the gospel community. He's also a young minister who has a real word. You know, he has a real spirit, a good spirit about himself. He'll do anything for anybody, and I love the way he is. So I'm going to bring him on today to talk about his new released single. He just released a single on Friday called Here I Am. It's spelled HERENHEAR. I Am. So I'm featuring Javetta Campbell. So I'm going to bring him in. AC, if you're ready. And I'm project and things to come. So please stick around with me and find out more about AC. How you doing, AC?
Hey.
Hey, man. Okay. Well, we got the pastor voice on today. Hey, how you doing, brother? Yes.
It's been a long weekend. So other than that, it's been a very long weekend.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, man. I really appreciate you joining me this week. I was giving the people a little background on you, but I would like for you to, introduce yourself formally, and we can begin the discussion from there.
Well, hello everybody. AC Riley, 28, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur. Just trying to make the kingdom great and make a little coin behind it. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Dig. So tell us about your because I know Here I Am, and we're going to get to Here I Am, but let's talk about the projects that you've done before Here I Am, and sort of what got you to the point where you decided that the next single should be Here I Am.
I released my first double single back in 2013, and so that was a great adventure. But I've always been different, so I wanted to do something different, and Here I Am is just I guess, the tip of the iceberg for what's to come with this project. This project in itself, which is going to answer a lot of questions for those who are asking about, the setup of the song.
Mm-hmm.
This project in itself is made to focus on my songwriting instead of
Mm-hmm.
my vocal ability.
Yeah.
Um, it's a project that's really legitly and literally flipped inside out for an artist. And every song on the project will be written by me, but every song won't have my vocals on it
Mm-hmm.
because, again, as a songwriter, you take the time to write a song, but it's the best compliment to hear your vision through the ears and eyes of someone else. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's basically what the project is about. Making sure that I remain versatile, um, yet while still maintaining the creative instinct that is me throughout this whole project.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's something that struck me when I first started listening to it. I heard it and I was like, oh, so he's not singing like the other albums, like the other singles. You are good. And the other ones, I can't remember all the names right now. I'm sorry, Doc. But I remember you doing the majority of singing, and I could hear mostly like female voices, with maybe a little, tenor, and then you leading here and there. And then Javetta came in and took over. So I definitely could tell that you were focusing more on the singing and the production value of it more so than than you actually singing. I'm sorry, the writing and the production value more so than the singing on your part. I'm interested in seeing where that goes for you because I'm a songwriter as well, as you know, and that's something I definitely think about all the time. Is maybe I'm not the person that's best suited to put forth the message that I'm trying to put out. So maybe the best thing to do is to get other people to sing the words and to see how that works. So I'm interested in seeing how that works for you because I do know you to be an awesome singer, an awesome vocalist, and just to take the me out of it and say, hey, I want to let somebody else shine using the work that I put together. That's amazing. I really am excited about that. Do you have an album, a album EP kind of thing that you're working on, or is it just you're just going to sit on this single for a while?
I am. I'm going to let the single take legs for a moment. We have a lot that we're trying to do with this project. Again, just really being different. I don't want to be I'm probably not going to be your typical artist or your typical songwriter or typical vocalist. And I think that's what makes me me. It's a lane that's pretty much never been tapped into as, an I won't call myself an artist, but as an artist, entertainer, performer, minstrel. So it's a road that can be um, lonely, in a sense, as far as being misunderstood and not and having to be repetitive in your concept.
Yeah,
But it's a road that's rewarding for stepping out and being confident in something that people are going to ask questions about, but that you honestly feel in your heart people are going to appreciate in the end.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's one thing is when you're doing it, when you're doing it for the right reasons, the people begin to matter a whole lot less than the mission and the product. And like I said, knowing you're a person that's really spiritually guided. That's something I know about you for sure. Is that you want God to have His way in what you're doing. So I want to continue to encourage you in that because people won't always be there. People won't always agree with what you're doing or the route that you're taking. But if you can look in the mirror and say that I know what I'm doing is God led, then I definitely encourage you to keep pushing towards that, man, because that's really all you need. All that other stuff is extra. If people love it, then cool. But if you know that the message that you're trying to put out there is blessing somebody, that's what it is. That's really what it's all about. I also wanted you to talk about your shirt. Do it again. I still need to get
I
my shirt from you.
know I apologize about the other night, but Do It Again, Jesus is, again, me being an artist, being a minstrel, is a chant that God gave me one day in the midst of service, and it kind of took legs of its own yet again. And then in the beginning, people were confused if that was the name of the single, and it
I was.
wasn't. Um, Right. So if that would have been dope if it was, it would have just, taken this to a whole nother level, but it wasn't. But it's a saying that I believe is alive when you actually believe in what the words say. He is a God of more than a second chance, and he can do what you need time and time again, as long as your faith believes with you, because faith without works is dead. So it's a shirt that I think back in June, that's when I started it. And so since then, it has taken off. Of course, shirts are being sold locally, but I've shipped shirts to Chicago, to Alaska, to Texas. Shirts are now in California. They're in New York. And so I just bless God that my footprint in his kingdom is being, stretched
Aw-
throughout the U.S.
Awesome. And that's, I mean, again, that's something that I definitely, I want to encourage you in as well. I remember when you first did the Rockstar shirts, I went to Key West and I took my picture in Key West with the Rockstar shirt. So, I've been a fan, even though we family, I've been a fan of you and what you're doing, man, because you're definitely a positive person. You're definitely doing positive things. So if you send me the picture, I got plenty of pictures, but send me a specific picture that you would want me to put on the page so I can send it out to the masses on my using the resources that I have. I'm pretty sure you know more people than I do, but I'll send it out on my page and maybe we can get you a few more sales because like I believe in that. I believe in the message. Do it again. We got to ask God to do it. Too often we rely on ourselves and think that our own capabilities is what makes things happen, but it's all God. So if he did it before, he can do it again. So do it again. Do it again. T-shirts coming from AC Riley. What's coming up? What's next? That's what I want to close with. What's next for AC Riley?
As of right now, as far as the t-shirts, there is a contest going on. I'll send you that information, where if you purchase a t-shirt, you're eligible for a free photo shoot. Your average photo shoot costs you about $200. If you
Mm-hmm.
purchase one shirt, that could between $5 and $12, you're saving a good chunk of change
Mm-hmm.
for a free 1 hour photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's for personal use, whether it's for business, a photo shoot is a photo shoot. So that's great. Um, in terms of the single, it was released Friday with great reviews. I've had people literally call me in tears.
Mm.
So that's a blessing. Just continue to support that and push that until everything else happens. And I'm a very hush hush person when it comes to my stuff, but I really want to make my footprint great in the kingdom and immigrate in my city. So that the reason I'm so very whitish today was because in the midst of releasing the single, I had the BGV for a stage play on Saturday. So Friday was the single, Friday was the rehearsal and the play on Saturday. We didn't leave the Satilli Theater, that's where it was, until like after midnight. Had to wake back up because I had to sing an 8 a.m. service and then I
Yeah.
had to sing an 11 a.m. service. And I have to go to another service in a few minutes. So it's a busy road, but this is what I love to do. So I thank God for the chance and opportunity. But other than that, just being great, just trying to stay great in the kingdom and, just be positive and just be an unknown example because you never know who's watching. So you
Exactly.
always have to be in your P's and Q's. So I thank God for entrusting me with the spirit of an example without even knowing it. I just want to make sure that his kingdom is represented to the highest level. That's
Indeed.
pretty much me right now.
Indeed. Thank you so much, man. Again, look out for the single "Here I Am." Featuring Javetta Campbell. And also look out for the T-shirts. Do it again, Jesus T-shirts. All right, and I'll be posting both on the page. I already posted. Here I Am. Make sure you go to iTunes. It's on iTunes. Where can they find it?
Um, the single itself can be found on every media purchase site, iTunes, Amazon, Google, Spotify, even Tidal,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere for that. As far as finding me, you can search me online. I made it really easy for you, AC Riley online, everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Isn't there something else? Um, just search AC Riley online. And I'm sure you're gonna find me.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, just look out for me. I have a few events coming up, so I'll be posting about those on my personal page and my artist page, which is AC Riley. And then again, just pushing the single and getting ready to release what I call one of the greatest projects of the upcoming years. So,
Awesome.
hey,
Awesome. And I look forward to it. Whatever you need, I'll be there. because that's what we do. All right, man. I'm proud of you. I love you. Keep pushing, and you know the number if you need me. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining. All right, AC. Peace, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me tap you out. All right, yeah, so that was AC Riley. Phenomenal young man. You heard it. He's very humble. He's very out there, very doing his thing. We have to continue to support young people like that. Like I said, we are so quick to support people that come from Atlanta, people that come from New York, people come from California, somebody from New Orleans, but if somebody from Charleston doing stuff, we act like we can't talk to them. So I wanted to create a format like this where I could highlight the local people, the local celebrities around us, the people that are amongst us every day that are doing great things. So week after week, I'm going to continue to bring people on who are local, who are doing great things, and just need a little bit of a push. And I'm going to ask you guys to also push those people because they represent us. They're our people. So if you know somebody who would be a great guest, guest for this show, please send them my way, and I'd love to interview them. So thank you again for AC Riley. And like I said, I'll post the stuff about his shirts and about the single on the page. So I want to move on to my relationship segment where I talk about different things. I always have to preface it with I am a happily married man of 10 years to my wife Latoya, and one thing that has helped us greatly is we are always looking up information about how to make our lives better as married people, how to be a better husband, how to be a better father, how to be a better person. So this week, last week I asked for suggestions about things that you guys would be interested in talking about. One thing that somebody asked me was, how do you know if somebody's cheating on you? Cheating is a very serious thing, right? And it's something that infidelity is something that comes up in marriages, in serious relationships all the time. And it's probably one of the biggest killers of relationships, even though financial issues is actually the number one killer of relationships. Infidelity is second. But so somebody asked me to speak about how to know if somebody is cheating. I'm not an expert on that. So what I did, again, like I do all the time, is I looked up an article called 13 Hidden Ways to Know If Your Partner is Cheating. Now, I found this online, as I always do, and like I always do, I'm going to post the link here so you guys can check it out. So give me 1 second while I post that. I don't want you to pull it up now because that means you'll be coming from here. And I want you to stay with me. I don't want you to leave. But I'm posting it in here so you guys can check it out. So yeah, I just posted the article. It's called 13 Ways to Find Out If Your Spouse is Cheating. Also, let me go ahead and share this so that we can bring some people in that may be interested in this topic. And again, like I said, I asked for people to give me ideas of things to talk about for this subject. So I wanted to make sure that I engage that. I want to start by saying I detest cheating. I detest cheaters. I just do because it detracts from the marriage and from your relationship. And truth be told, whatever it is that you find interesting in somebody else, you probably can find that in your spouse if you married them. So at some point, whatever you seeing in that person that you're out there with, you could have found that with your spouse. You could have talked to your spouse, which goes back to the thing that we talked about weeks before. We talked about building trust. We talked about communication. If you build trust and communication, cheating is a whole lot less likely if you do those first two things. So even though I'm going to be talking about ways to find out if your spouse is cheating on you, I definitely want to make sure that it's understood that I believe that the way to avoid cheating, the way to avoid a cheating type situation is, one, to be open and honest with the person that you're with, and to two, trust that the person that you're with will hear you, and you need to hear them. All right. So now that we get that out the way, I'm gonna go to 13 ways to find out if your spouse is cheating. All right. To know if your spouse is cheating, not to find out. Says one, time stamping. All right. Optimizing precious moments with a lover is a balancing act. so he's counting minutes. It won't raise any red flags if I come home by 6 p.m. on the dot, he rationalizes. Or if I call her every day at noon, she won't get suspicious. So pretty much what it's saying there is that if somebody calls you at a very specific time every single day, say 2 o'clock every day, or they call you at 5 o'clock every day, or then they may be trying to cover up something that they don't want you to know about. So that's one thing. Two, new lingo. It says a friend of mine suspicions grew when he heard his wife irritably yell "Good Christ," an expression neither of them had ever used, and she would typically find offensive. If she's spending enough time with her lover, she's sure to pick up some of his or her expressions. So that's pretty much saying that if they're hanging out with somebody different, they may start picking up different figures of speech that they normally wouldn't have, or they just may be saying things because they're picking it up from hanging out with somebody else. So that's a sign that they may be cheating, changing things up. It says every evening, like clockwork, he comes home and asks about dinner and walks the dog. Now that ritual is being messed with. He needs a shower as soon as he walks in the door. All right, so this is interesting. He needs a shower as soon as he walks in the door. I think some people are just clean like that. Like some people just want to walk in the house and take a shower because they've had a long day at work and they don't want to smell like they've been outside all day. But for some people that also could be a sign that somebody is cheating. So you want to take that, with what it is. Driving alone. Normally you'd hop in the car together and be on your way, but recently she finds a myriad of reasons to have a few minutes alone and need to take their own car. Yeah, if y'all are going to the same place, like say you're going to a restaurant to eat, and they're like, well, you drive your car, I drive my car, and like you going to the same place and you're coming back together, it doesn't really make sense for y'all to be taking separate cars. That would definitely be something I would watch for, because that's not great. Wanting you to strut your stuff. What's this? A little something from Vicky's Secret just for you. Funny. He always claimed that lingerie doesn't do much for him. His affairs are reawaken his libido. Okay. So, according to the article, and again, I'm referring to the article and just giving my opinions on it. If a man has been telling you previously, he's not really into lingerie or anything like that, and one day he's like, hey, I want you to put this on and walk around, there's a possibility that he's doing something because somebody else is wearing lingerie and it made him think, and he wants to think about that person. Again, that could be. That's the thing with these articles, man. Like you can read these articles sometimes, and sometimes you'll agree, and sometimes it's like, I don't really know if that's a real good indicator of somebody cheating. You're clearly up to no good. Now, this I definitely agree with. If somebody's always telling you that, like always accusing you of cheating, like they're very suspicious of you all the time, and you're just doing common stuff, like you go to a restaurant and you have a waiter who's nice, and you smile at the waiter and like, why are you smiling at him? There's something going on there. There's something as far as a guilty conscience that may be affecting that person. So maybe there's something you need to be just more cautious of. No harm in looking. So number 8, there's no harm in looking, right? Did you see our cute neighbor checking out your butt? She asked with a big smile. That flight attendant is really your type, she teases, leaving you wondering what happened to her jealous streak. No mystery, she's on an affair-fueled, guilt-mitigating mission to casually justify extramarital attractions. So if somebody is always trying to tell you to look at somebody else or trying to draw attention to somebody else's attractiveness, it's possible that they're trying to get you to do the things that they're already doing. That's definitely a possibility. If somebody is trying to make an affair sound like it's not a big deal, that's also a possibility. Yeah. So these are all things, and I'm not going to go through the rest of them because that's really not my thing. But but those are 13 ways to know if your partner is cheating. If you're interested in finding out more detail about what they're saying, I posted the link right here, because all right, what's going on in your life. You know your spouse. And I will go back to what I said again. If you have a feeling that your spouse is cheating on you, talk to them. Like honestly, talk to them. Don't go by uh, intuition. A lot of times your intuition will lead you wrong. Now sometimes it's good, and maybe you have the gift of discernment, and it's very possible that you do, but it's also possible that you're just being a jealous person. All right. Go to God with it. I will always give the go to God like answer. Go to God with it. Pray about it. Ask God what is going on. Ask God. Me and my wife just watched the movie War Room. Get you a war room. You know, go inside your closet and put your prayers to God and ask God to show you the things that you need to see. Like seek that voice. Seek that voice that is inside you and say, God, is this a situation that I need to be concerned about? And if it is, I need you to fix it because I can't fix it. Me being paranoid will not fix my situation. All right? And that could be rather just be cheating or it be uh, uh, dishonesty, whether it be any kind of situation, financial, whatever. Go to God with it. Cheating is definitely what I highlighted today because that's what people ask me to talk about. But if something's not in my heart, I can't just go with it because that's it's just not who I am. I'm sorry, but if you are interested in that information, I did post a link to the article, and I want you to please go out there and check it out because it does have good information for people who are interested in that kind of thing. I'm not, so there. Um, um, please again, but if there's something that you think that I skipped over or something you like to mention about cheating or dealing with cheating in a relationship, somebody asked how do you get over cheating, and I want to say that that's really a personal thing. For me, I tell my wife all the time that if she cheated on me, like I'm pretty sure that's something I couldn't get over. And I'm just being completely honest. And I love my wife to death. Like I love her so much. If I didn't know God so well, I think she hung the moon. I really would. But if she cheated on me, it would break something in me. It really would. And I would have to go to God with that. Just like I'm telling you right now, I would have to go to God and ask God what's the right way to go forward. So if you, but like I said last week, if you are with somebody and they cheated on you, right, and you decide to forgive them, you've forgiven them. It's over. Move on. Now, if you decide not to forgive them, then cool. You decide not to forgive them. You move on with your life and you let them move on with their life. But if you are with someone and they cheat on you and you decide to stick with it, then you decide to stick with it and fight it out. I mean, stick with it as long as you can. If that's what you do. Like I told you, that's not really my thing. So I'm not going to advocate for anybody to stick with it because for me, infidelity is like one of the worst things you can possibly do in the course of a relationship. That's just me. Um, which is why I really don't like talking about it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's it for me on that. As far as the relationship segment goes, if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below. I want to end on this, and I spoke a little bit about what's going on in the community earlier. Um, we got to make sure that we're highlighting the good that's going on in the world. Let's not focus on the negative. There's so much positive. Even when with the relationship segment, you know, um, as opposed to speaking about what are things that I could do to enrich my marriage and build things. Some people would rather talk about negative things like how do I cheating and lying and dishonesty and all of these things, as opposed to focusing on building it up. I would recommend to anybody that you if you haven't, find something positive to do. I won't say that you don't have anything positive. Not saying that you don't have anything positive to do, but I mean, seek out opportunities to do something positive for your life. Rather it be take a class, rather it be attend some kind of seminar. There's a seminar, a marriage conference at Faith Assembly in Somerville in October that I'm really excited about. Me and my wife going to. Find an opportunity to do something positive to enrich somebody else's life, smile at somebody. I'm very big on that. But find something positive to do. Find something positive to support. Find a way to use your free time to enrich somebody else's life. That's like there's nothing more rewarding than that in the world. I've done a lot of things. I'm active in a lot of different activities, but I definitely would advocate and I would recommend to anybody do that, and you will see things in your life will get better. If you have a negative outlook on life, you have a negative view of things that are happening in the world, do something positive that will help you to build other people up. And as you will see that as you are building other people up, it will build you up. It will build your spirit. It will build your mind, because you're doing that. Read a book. Read, even if it's an audiobook. I love audiobooks. All right, read something. Enrich your mind, and read the Bible. If you don't have anything else to read, read the Bible. There's audio Bible out there. Seek a word. Find something positive. Every day I start my day with a positive quote. And I just do, because if I start my day with a positive quote, no matter what happens, I'm sort of already built. I already built like some kind of inspirational thing inside of me where I'm ready to deal with that thing. Find yourself some kind of positivity in your life. Don't let everything around you be negative. Even the things that you bring into your eye hole. My wife talks to me all the time about the things that I present to my eye holes, my ear hole, like the things that I allow into my spirit. And she speaks to me about that all the time, because there's certain TV shows I like that are probably not, the best for my spirit, but I love them. I love the TV show Snapped. Snapped is so awesome to me. I love that show, but it's not great for my spirit, and it will make you paranoid. So she talks to me about that, and again, this is marriage upbuilding. Sorry. Um, Find things positive to bring into your spirit. I post inspirational quote of the day every day, because I know that everybody may not start their day with an inspirational quote, with something positive. So if you see the quotes and it inspires you, then great. If you would rather do them on your own and find your own quotes, great. There's an app called Brainy Quote, and they will send you a daily quote of the day. All right, they'll send you a daily inspirational quote of the day. And normally that's what I use for my page. So check that out. If you want to find them on your own, there's different topics that you can look up. You can look up spirituality, you can look up leadership, you can look up success, whatever you're interested in. But find something positive, because the more positivity you have in your life, the better off your life will be. I promise. You will see it come to pass. The things that used to bother you will not bother you as much, because you just have a different mindset, a different way of thinking, a different way of life. So I want to end on that today, man. That's my last um, thing for the day, is to find yourself some positivity and seek it. All right, seek it out. Be positive in everything you do, because you never know. Like, you never know when the small thing that you said may affect somebody who did not have anybody saying anything positive to them. So, in closing, um, don't be the one left out because you didn't tune in. And always remember that if a man doesn't stand for something, he will fall for anything. Now that's real talk. Come grow with me every week, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., and I'm going to post this on YouTube. So check it out there if you didn't get an opportunity to see the whole thing live. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the love. Pray for me as I pray for you. God bless you, and see you next week. Peace.